life, your term show.
Hey everyone, Anthony here. This podcast is with longtime Rockstar members Harlod, Henning, and Diane Brisebois, and we kind of jump a little partway through Harlod describing his story and how he got to where he's at today, but the recording didn't start for a few minutes in, so it's kind of mid-story, but it's still a great background of his life, and then we get into their real estate investing journey and all of the longevity research and stuff that they're actually implementing in their lives. So it's a pretty interesting podcast, so I hope you enjoy it, and that's it.
So then I went ahead and
you did your PhD?
No, I was pre-nursing at the time.
Yes,
but the first woman I met, I made her pregnant. Being the good Catholic boy that I was, I married her, right? So, and he's 50 now,
Yeah.
to give you some idea, and I'm 70. So I was young.
Wow.
Yeah, and my first wife, she went to nursing school. I was accepted to nursing school too, so that's what we were going to do. And after a while, I realized that, maybe that's not the career I really want to do, taking care of people in the hospital. And I didn't realize what you could do with your nursing license, but I love science. So then I went what's called pre-med tech. Are you familiar with that?
Mm-mm.
Med techs are people that run labs in the hospitals, basically, right? So the science was great. And so I was just sitting at lunch with a guy who just got accepted to medical school, and the same classes that are pre-med are the same as med tech. And he was saying, why don't you go to medical school? And I said, no, I'm not smart enough for that. And he said, oh, yeah, you are. So I really didn't have a lot of confidence, right? But I applied to medical school and I got in. That tells you something.
Yeah.
And so then I did my 4 years of medical school, and you have to decide what you're going to do. At the time when I joined, I was going to be a family doc, a GP, and go out in small town Kansas and do everything for everyone, right? That was my vision. But once I went to medical school, I realized there is just too much I need to know. And I decided that I needed to subspecialize. And I loved delivering babies. That's primary care. And the thing I had to give up is taking care of men. That's okay. I take care of it. Because as an OBGYN, you do more surgery than a general surgeon as far as lots of C-sections, lots of things. Because women come in for the majority of hospital care and just health care in general, having babies, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time studying women and how they work, right, and function. So one thing I did notice is that women miscarried a lot. Have you heard of women having miscarriages when they're pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what the knowledge we had then is that half of it was a genetic problem, and the other half they didn't know why. So I said, that's strange. Here we are, advanced as far as we are in knowledge, and we can't tell a woman why. And she's crying, because here I'm taking care of her. I can't tell her why she's miscarrying. So I said, I need to do some work. So I went over at the time I lived in Manhattan, Kansas, and they had a vet school there, right? So I said, I need an animal model for miscarriage so that I can work with that and figure out why women miscarry. So I went over and I talked to people, and then they directed me to the Department of Animal Science. These people, they have basically, they know everything about farm animals that you can imagine. So anytime you have all these chickens and pigs and all this stuff that are being, so the guy said, he pointed me to the vet school once, and I was doing some embryo stuff there. No, that's not it. So I went to animal science. I met my major professor, and his name was Dwayne Davis. And he had a model for miscarriage in pigs. So what they did is they just kept making these little pigs younger and younger. They give them injections. I don't know if you're familiar with how we work as far as our hormones and stuff, but we give them injections, and I could make a little pig pregnant at 100 days of age, which is, we call them pre-pubertal pigs. And then you make them pregnant, and they would 100% miscarry every time. So then the question is, why? So then I did surgeries on these little pigs and took their eggs out, or actually blastocysts at the time, that had been fertilized, and transferred them into an older pig to see if they would live or die. And then I took embryos from an older pig that would naturally live and put them in the little pig to see if they would live or die, to try to see why they're not living. guess what happened?
What?
The ones that I transferred into the older pig lived, and the ones I transferred into the little pig lived. They didn't die then. So if I took them from an older pig and put them in a little pig, this little pig was pregnant, and she would have tried to carry him to full term, but of course we didn't let her do that, right? So then I'm the only one then this is my research that I published and got my PhD in. And well, they asked me, they said, if you want to work on animals, you have to be either working on a master's or a PhD. I said, I'm already a physician. Why would I work on a master's? Give me the PhD. So that's why I took that on, right? So I had to go back and do all my basic sciences over again, and then all these clinical trials. So I would take eggs and I'd do reciprocal transfers into these to try to figure it out. What happens is what I discovered. I don't know if you're familiar, but we come from eggs, right? The egg has a shell around it. It's called the zona. So if you have an egg, the sperm have to penetrate that in order to fertilize it, right? It's called the zona pellucida. So if you look up fertilization, you'll see an egg and it's just surrounded by sperm. So the one thing you need to know is that it takes over 100 sperm to fertilize one egg. If you put one egg and one sperm in a dish together, they will not fertilize. Because the wall has got to be worked on by the sperm. So they all work together so that at least one gets through. The egg selects it, which one fertilizes it. So then it grows for about 5 days, and we change into what's called a blastocyst. So we haven't implanted into the uterus. So if this is a blastocyst, this is a uterus. It's what my finding was, and they already knew about it in horses, but in the pig, I was able to say that this signaling occurs in the older pig for the little blastocyst. So I put it in the little one, and now it lives because it got the signal from the mother, from her womb. And I take the blastocyst from the little pig, it doesn't have a signal. I put it in the older pig, it gets the signal.
When you say little pig, it's just like hasn't hit puberty? It's
Right.
Got it.
If I wouldn't have given it injections of gonadotropins, it would not have cycled and gotten pregnant.
Got it.
Yeah, so I was able to make little pigs pregnant, and that was my major professor. He had done this, just saying, and now he's got this model, and they miscarry 100% of the time. So what I was able to say, at least in animals, and I defended that, and that gave me my PhD, and I became an embryologist. So an embryologist is, I was able to take eggs out of women myself and take sperm, make babies, and then make a woman pregnant. And the first baby I made, she turned 25 this past December.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
So I did it all myself. There was no one in North America that I know that have taken eggs, taken sperm, made babies, pregnant, and delivered in our office. Nobody has done it all. So I'm an embryologist and an OB-GYN.
Yeah.
Right? So I can incubate it and this type of thing. So that's gave me a tremendous education.
Wow.
And understanding how we are and why we are. And I can explain to women now. I said, if you miscarry, even though we know it's genetically okay, there's another reason. Because when that communication, it has to come back and forth for 9 months. If it breaks down, there's a problem. And now, this is occurring at a molecular, genetic, cellular level, which is really beyond our technology at this point. But you can very much say that there is a reason. We just don't know what it is, right? And then I work on people that have what's called recurrent pregnancy loss and help them have a baby when they otherwise wouldn't have it, right? So number one, I can make a blastocyst. We can check it. We can see if it's genetically normal before you put it in the uterus, right? So this is what.
So are you doing stuff that's different than a normal infertility clinic or fertility clinic? I don't know how you properly say it.
I do more.
You do more stuff.
Well, I can explain things a lot more.
Got it.
And most docs don't know what I know, right? Because they're not an embryologist. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
You have that base knowledge.
I have a PhD in reproductive physiology. I wanted to go on and do an REI program, Reproductive Endocrinology and Infertility Subspecialty Fellowship, but they saved those for these kids that are just out of OB-GYN, young people. Well, I was already 50s, so.
Yeah.
But I came here to Canada because of my pedigree. I went to New Life Fertility, and she noticed that they were looking for somebody. And I sent in my
CPSO. There was an ad in CPSO.
College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario, and she noticed it. So I just turned in my resume on a Friday. I got called by Dr. Solomon, who's the owner and the medical director of New Life Fertility, and he called me. I went and visited him on Sunday, and I had the job Monday.
Yeah, the same day.
Same day,
He said, "Why
really.
don't you come to visit the clinic?" And he went, and I said, "Oh, you're going for an interview?" I said, "Good luck." He comes back 45 minutes later. He goes, "I got the job."
Awesome.
And I said, "Well, does he know that he has to sponsor you?" Because at the time, he didn't, he was still living in the U.S. He
wasn't Canadian, right?
Yeah.
I have to get my card, and
Yeah.
your it's not the green card in the U.S., but it's a permanent resident card and stuff. And she helped me do that. If it wasn't for her, then I wouldn't have been able to come here to Canada. So I'm a Canadian now. I've been here long enough that I'm a citizen, Canadian citizen. So I'm a dual citizen, right?
Yeah.
So that's my story on how I got here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And Diane, you were born here?
Yes, I'm French Canadian.
Oh, yeah,
in
of
Montreal.
Course.
Brisebois, yeah.
Yes.
I'm French Canadian from Montreal. And I've been living in Toronto for the last 36 years. I came here in 1989. 1989.
Yeah. This is all your longevity stuff. You're already living in the future.
Way ahead now.
1989, so that makes it 35 years. And at the time, I was a real estate agent in Montreal. And I had just finished getting my broker license. And that was the worst time to get your broker license because the interest rate went up to 18%. It was crazy. And I had a lot of listings and nothing was selling. And I was drowning in putting ads, and because my clients, they wanted to sell their house, so I was putting ads everywhere and nothing was selling. So I went to my broker and I said, I'm going to leave. I'm going to pay you my debt, and because I owed for my space and everything. I paid my debt, and then I came to Toronto, and I said, I lived in LA before, and I like living in big cities, and I thought there would be great opportunities here in Toronto, and I think I was right, I think that I love living here in Toronto. It's now my home.
Yeah.
And my family's still back in Montreal, but I go visit.
Not everybody.
Yeah, now my mother recently moved in with us.
93.
And she's 93. She was on the cruise, and
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, and she's healthy. And she's a wonderful person. She's very positive, and
Very
I
sensitive.
love having her.
She's very
because-
sensitive. And she's a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I talked to her a little bit. She was just a pleasure to be around.
Well, she doesn't speak English, so.
She's funny enough, her father was Irish, and grandfather. They came here in 1863 when the potato famine.
Yeah.
And her father met a French woman, and I don't know how they communicated, but he didn't speak French. She hardly spoke English, and they raised a family, and then my mother always wanted to learn English, but living in Quebec, and she had 5 kids, so she never got around learning English. And so now she's living in Toronto, and she's on Duolingo every day.
Oh, wow.
Like
That's
for
cool.
a couple hours. She's loving it. And now she's learning English.
Wow.
So, it just shows you that there's no age to learn, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys, I think, are a great representation of that. Like, you're constantly learning and doing new things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. So you've both had these long careers. And now I know, Diane, you've bounced around with multiple different things.
Yeah.
What brought you to real estate? Because there's real estate and then there's all this longevity and health stuff you're learning as well, which I want to dive into. So how did you get into real estate?
I was paying too many taxes.
So you own multiple practices now, correct?
No,
No?
I've what happens here in Canada, if you have a wage, right,
Yeah.
and if it's very high, they're going to take 50%,
Yep.
right?
More than 50% if it's high enough.
Yeah, exactly. So I was paying, and I can't remember the accountant and stuff. Remember, I was paying a lot of taxes.
Yeah, the first year he didn't know, and he was paying like hundreds of thousands in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I said,
Thank you for your service, Harold.
there you go.
yeah,
Contribute
I
to
said,
the tax.
you got to talk to your accountant on how you're going to save on
Yeah,
taxes.
how do you get out of this?
You need to get in, you need to register a business so you're paying less taxes and all that, right?
I was using Price Waterhouse
Yeah.
because I knew they were a good firm, right? I wanted somebody, because I'm in Canada, I paid my taxes in the U.S. all my life, and I wanted to make sure I was doing it right, and then not, because they're after people that have a good income in general, to make sure they are paying their taxes. So how did we end up with?
Well, I was interested this time to invest in real estate. And so I said, at the time, I had a house in Brampton. I lived in Brampton for quite a few years. And then I sold the house and I went renting a condo in Marina del Rey. But I stayed there for, 8 years.
Is that L.A.? Marina del...
No, Marina del Rey on Lakeshore.
Right on Lakeshore.
Lakeshore and Park Lawn.
Oh, is that a community?
It's a Marina del Rey is a complex. It has 3 buildings, and it's called Marina del Rey because
It sounds familiar.
the marina is right behind it.
Got it.
It's a
Okay.
beautiful place right along Lakeshore.
Really nice along Lakeshore. And I had a condo with a view on the bay, the Toronto Bay, and all the
But you didn't own
skyline
that condo.
downtown.
You were paying rent.
No, I was just renting there.
I bet you miss Brampton, eh?
I went from
I never
Brampton
lived
to there, and I loved it there.
Shout out to all
But-
my Bramptonians.
But at some point, the owner said, I need to take the condo back because my son is getting married. And I bought this condo for my son.
Okay.
So I had to leave the condo. And so I went across the street from there. There were some townhouses. And then, I was still renting. So when I met Harold, he
She was
said, he said, I never rented.
I said, why would you rent from somebody? That never made any sense for me to pay somebody else's mortgage.
Right,
Because that's we always owned everything.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
My dad taught us, you own and you pay and whatever. Right? You own your home. So I met her. She was paying rent, and I said, no.
It's not how we're doing it.
No.
No.
So
Yeah.
We
So
were
at the
looking.
time we were looking to invest,
Yeah.
and
there was a place even just right up the street. It was
looking.
Basically a dump, I said, I wouldn't give you $100,000 for this place. I mean, it sold for like
$549,000, and there were multiple offers on it.
Yeah.
It was just in the Mimico area.
When about was this?
This 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we decided that we had an idea of how much what we could buy.
There.
No,
In that neighborhood.
we wanted to be close to the water. We
Yes.
like Lakeshore. We like walking, biking along the lake.
And I
So-
just couldn't see fixing up
A place that was a 900 square foot bungalow. And when we visited that place, it was right beside the train track, the Mimico's train track.
Noisy.
And so when the train passed by, the whole house was shaking. And
Yeah,
we
you have a
think,
train party.
No,
Yeah.
that's
To me, I couldn't believe how much that place sold for.
yeah.
Here I am. I've got a place in the U.S., right? I'm going to sell it. What did I say?
And he had a
$200,000.
beautiful place
On 10 acres on the river.
on the river.
So it's very nice.
Beautiful. And it had like four or five bedrooms, big living room. He had a grand piano. He had a beautiful place.
And this was a small house for me. I had lived in Manhattan, Kansas. I had built a 6,000 square foot house on 20 acres.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So, I've already put a lot of money into building and making and having and stuff like that, right? So you sell one and move on. But I wasn't going to live in a apartment and work for what I was making.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. So you saw...
Yeah, so we decided to go to a conference from HGTV.
You saw the conference there at the Holiday Inn, Holiday Drive, right? You saw that for sale.
Oh, this is when we swim at the Olympium, and so going to the Olympium, in Etobicoke, Rathburn, and West Mall.
Okay. Holiday Drive. 427 South.
Yeah, so we were going to the Olympium for swimming, and right there where the Holiday Inn used to be, they were building townhouses. So I said, hey, we should check it out. It's close to our pool. So we went to check out the project, and we bought it on paper. We found a townhouse that was, at the time, I think they were selling for $350,000. So we thought, that sounds good, And that was just before the price started going up.
Yeah.
And so we bought this townhouse.
With the intention of moving in within a year. Well, I did not realize it takes forever to get anything done.
Well, there were some labor disruption, and there was a delay. And so when we found out that it was going to be more than 2 years delay, we decided, no, let's go buy something in Hamilton.
Well, I had
in the
cash
meantime.
from my previous property sold, right? So, we were looking, and the only thing I could find for what I had was a place in Hamilton. So that's what we bought, and we lived in that place, and we fixed it up over the course of a year, waiting for this other place to...
Yeah, we did the underpinning because the basement was bad.
It was short.
So we did...
And we wanted to make it a duplex.
Right.
A legal duplex, right? Because we went to
Keyspire to do some a conference. We went to an evening with Scott McGillivray, and
I did that like 10 years ago.
And I bought into it, right?
Yeah,
and it was wonderful. I thought, 4 ways to win. Let's go. Let's make this thing a duplex. Do all this great stuff, and that turned out to be a fiasco. Big time fiasco.
Well, it's just we didn't get the value for what we paid for.
Yeah, was it just not the right property to be able to duplex easily?
No. The property in Hamilton, after we did the underpinning of the basement, we had the place appraised, and right there we were making $150,000
on our investment. It was good.
Yeah,
but
it was very good. It was after we hired a contractor to finish the rest of the renovation of the building, and that's where it went sideways.
Well, we had another
a bad
guy too.
contract.
Remember, we had the other guy too beforehand. The
Yeah.
guy that was out of Guelph or someplace.
It was the guy who was making the plans, right?
The original guy that we had, and he wasn't getting the job done.
No.
And then we got.
They couldn't deliver. We were asking, to get the plan. It was like they were busy with other things.
Yeah, you weren't being prioritized.
I mean, we really, I met another guy at what was that downtown there? We went to the real estate thing.
He wanted to be our property manager. I said, no, we're not looking for property manager. We're looking for contractor.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about when we went down there and we found Penguin then at that same conference thing.
Oh, we went to the home show downtown, and that's where we met Peter, the guy who ended up doing the renovation. But we also met with Penguin. And Penguin, at the time, they were only renovating basement. They weren't doing the whole building.
Yeah.
And so we ended up giving the contract to the second vendor.
Got it. Okay. So you got a better contractor.
So we got a contractor who was able to start the project. But
we had checked out other people because we're not stupid about that. We checked out. We got other bids from other places and stuff. And this guy, we met him at that conference and looked like he did good work and stuff. And the next thing we know, he was in there tearing up.
We wanted to renovate, but we wanted to keep
the old
the
style.
charm of those houses in Hamilton. Are beautiful, right? They have like a lot of characters.
Yeah, they do.
And we wanted to keep some of that character.
And
the
we had
next
put
thing
in
we
a
know,
lot
we go to the
of
house, and he had ripped everything.
A wall.
Yeah.
Everything was gone. And we thought,
and because they were looking for knob and tube or something like that.
it's for the electrical, because we had to redo the electrical,
Knob.
so they didn't want to keep the walls. They just teared everything so they could redo the electricity.
Yeah.
So I met a different architect, White Willow, remember?
Yes.
Yeah, and they were really good. So they put us a nice plan together, and they were supposed to do this, but turned out everything needed something else. We ended up redoing the entire plumbing, doing the entire electrical. It was just tore down.
You guys are off to a great start with this, eh?
Oh, it was awful.
That was tough. It was really tough.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I kept telling him, I don't understand why you're going to give him another check of $80,000 when he hasn't delivered on what he was supposed to deliver yet.
Yeah.
And he treated that vendor as if he was his son.
Yeah, I tried.
He trusted him totally.
Yeah.
And so we were getting into fights because I said, I don't want you to give him another check until he delivers on what he promised. And sure enough, he would sign another check. And so at some point, he realized that now he was not going to deliver.
Actually, at one point I went to the guy that owned Penguin. What's his name?
Guy Solomon.
Guy Solomon. I went to him and told him what was going on. He goes, he says, at that point, then they were doing all the remodeling. Then he goes, you are being had. So he said, you need to hire somebody to get to the bottom of this. So I did. I hired an evaluator, and he came in and said, the work that's been done where you're at it here is worth about $200,000 to $500,000 max, maybe $200,000 to $300,000, and I'd already put $1 million into this.
Into doing this duplex?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
And then he said, this was the time of COVID then finally hit. And then he said, I actually lent him $80,000 to finish it, right? And had him sign the thing and all this. And he didn't have it finished. He kept making promises.
Oh my God, what a disaster.
This was
he was so trusting into this person.
Yeah.
And he brought his son over. He would treat us.
Oh, jeez.
He
Sorry to hear,
very
guys.
personable.
Yeah.
But he took me to the cleaners.
So this other guy, was he able to come in and help?
Yes, he came in and he finished the job.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And so now it's in the lawyer's hands. And
Yeah.
it's been in the lawyer's hands for
quite some time.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
But
The guy was a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took me to the cleaners.
You got to be careful. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy
So I'm
smokes.
suing him for like $1 million or something like that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So what happened with the property? You got a duplex rented out?
So
Nice.
what
It's
we
an Airbnb.
Yeah.
we're doing Airbnb with it.
Cool.
So because
Long
that way
stay, long
he's able to get his money back.
Are you guys still there? Living there?
Oh,
no,
no,
we're
no,
not.
no.
We
We were
lived
there
there
for 1
for
year.
just for the first year.
Oh, okay.
During the time that we were doing
But
the
it
underpinning
was-
of the basement.
It was empty for the longest time. It got broke into several times.
Oh yeah.
They tore the copper out of the place. I mean,
Yeah.
thieves in Hamilton you would not believe.
Yeah.
This is right on Main Street?
Yeah, it's right before you get to the better part.
Sure.
Closer over to the park, Gage Park.
Yeah.
So it's right in between downtown and Gage Park, right on Main Street.
Got
There's
it.
too much riffraff there, and it was awful. It was it was so awful.
Jeez. Yeah.
But with doing Airbnb, we were able to rent it at a really good price. We have
These are
somebody who's
midterm
managing-
rentals?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So we're
At least
doing
30 days and more.
Yeah, we did long term for quite some time, and now we decided that
I'll
we're
never
just
get
gonna
my
do-
money out of that place, though, unless I get so.
Yeah.
Now this is before you guys found Rockstar, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
This happened. We bought in 2015, and shortly after, we came to Rockstar. We came for an evening for a class.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, look, I saw this ad, a Facebook ad that Tom was doing, and I really liked it, and I thought he was so dynamic, and I said, I want to go to that class.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, do you want to come along? And he said, okay. And he came, and right away he signed up to become a member.
Cool.
And then after that, he became a VIP member, and we get a lot of value from everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love the networking event here because we learn so much, just bouncing, talking to other people and
Mm-hmm.
seeing what other people, the difficulty that they go through. At some point, we bought a condo during the pandemic. We bought a condo in Montreal. Because we thought it's perfect. It's perfect for when we retire, and it was close to my family, and it's by the river, and it had everything. It checked every box on our list, and so we thought, this will be a great place for retirement. And in the summer we can be here, and in the winter we'll go south.
Yeah,
and so we bought that place, and. That was a really good purchase. And then I rented the place, and the tenant paid for 1 year, and then I had to evict the tenant because they stopped paying. But because of the connection that I had here at Rockstar, I was able to talk to Danielle, one of the members, and she said, "Oh, I evicted so many tenants of mine." She said, "This is what you need to do." And so I followed exactly everything she was telling me to do. And so I had somebody who was able to give me the insight that I needed to have to go through the steps of the eviction. So we went through that, and we learned so much from going through that.
Yeah.
And then after that, you become really, really good at picking of who you want to rent to.
Yes. Once you get burned once, you really learn from that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a good learning experience.
I really enjoyed meeting the brothers because, they're Croatian, right? And my background is, of course, is my first wife, she was Croatian. And we lived in Kansas City, and there was a place called Strawberry Hill, which is all Croatian. So, these guys seemed very honorable and whatnot. And so, we hit it off. I really did. And we, their dad was making wine, right?
Yeah.
And we got some of that wine and stuff like that.
Yeah, Tom
nice.
gave us a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
'Cause I think he announced it accidentally. I don't think he meant it, but he announced it, and he said, "Anyone who wants some wine, I'll get you a bottle of wine." And I said, "I want to try the Croatian wine." And so he ended up
It was
giving
a
us
jug
a
of
bottle of wine.
Oh, that's
It was so funny.
So
We held his feet to the fire.
that's hilarious.
it was. So these guys, and as far as technology and stuff with the Teslas and whatnot, it just all fit together
Yeah.
like a beautiful puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I needed a place where I could invest in real estate, and then use that money as a tax. It's a tax deference for me, actually. Because you have a bunch of properties, and you're just not paying. You're not paying your taxes now. But if I was to sell this stuff, I'd have to pay taxes on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just keep buying real estate.
Yeah. So because you're able to use the write-offs against your income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I switched to a different company that happened to be at that Keyspire, and I met a guy there, and they were funny, and I've been using those guys ever since, right? So I have investments in the U.S. I have homes. We bought properties in Honduras, because of opportunities, and something not so good, but I own a percentage of a hospital in the U.S. where I used to practice.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I get income from that. I'm retired from the U.S. I get my Social Security from them every month. So, I have the best of both worlds, and I have no intention of retiring. So, when would I ever sell this stuff? I'm probably going to end up just making some type of a. That's why I noticed. Tom noticed that I was watching the one guy at the last meeting and taking his information about trust, right?
Yeah, Fabio at the VIP event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, so I got his information because I may do that, may not, because I have no intention of ever dying.
What if you could stop guessing your way through real estate and finally start building real wealth using the exact strategies that have helped hundreds of Canadians create financial freedom? What if you had your own real estate coach, someone showing you what to buy, where to buy, and how to create income on your terms? And what if you didn't have to go it alone anymore because you had a proven system with the tools, support, and network to actually make it work? That's exactly what you get inside the Rockstar Inner Circle. These are the exact same systems we've used to help everyday Canadians build serious wealth over the past 18 years. You'll get one-on-one coaching, 20 plus tactical training classes, live events, and access to a vetted network of real investor-friendly mortgage brokers, lawyers, and accountants. You'll get plug-and-play tools, real market data, and a full support system designed to help you move faster, avoid mistakes, and take control of your future. This is the stuff that changes lives. And now you can try the entire experience for just $9. Full access, no restrictions, cancel anytime. Go to rockstarinnercircle.com/just$9 and get started right now. That's rockstarinnercircle.com/just$9. The number 9 and the word dollars, no spaces. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it.
And I'm serious.
So why bother?
When you have a good life, and right now we're both healthy, and we want to stay that way. But when you think about your life, your term, you also have to think about what is wealth. Wealth, okay, owning real estate and having time with your family and your loved ones. But what is wealth if you don't have your health?
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So you need to plan to have good health, so health span, increase your health span so you can enjoy your wealth longer, right? So we thought we need to look into that. And
I've always been interested in health because that's what I do.
right.
Right? So I love science and technology. And there's this Peter Diamandis is with I don't know if you've heard of the Singularity.
I have, yeah.
There's a Singularity University that him and Ray Kurzweil put together, right, with other people. I was wanting to kind of go to that, but the price tag was too high, and what I was going to get, I really wasn't interested, so I didn't. And then I heard about this abundance program, Abundance 360. And then part of it is that you have to have what's called a MLP, MTP, most transformative purpose. And they help you, and they use AI to do that, to help you figure out what is it that's passionate about that you want to do to make a difference, right? So I made that, and she and I had put together things that we wanted to do in our lifetime years ago, and one of them for me was to live eternally. And I'm not joking, okay? So my moonshot is eternal life. And I have met people along the way, David Sinclair in particular, who says that aging is a disease. Mm-hmm. And that Peter Diamandis is a physician, right? He went to Harvard Medical School. He never practiced as a physician. He became an entrepreneur, and he helps people do businesses, run businesses, and think outside the box, right? So there happened to be a conference that we just went to this past October, and it was, what was the name? Platinum Conference.
Longevity.
Platinum conference, though.
Right.
Where they go once a year, either East Coast or West Coast, and they it's only for like 60 people, right? So it's small. It's like going on the boat, just a small group. So you have an intimacy there, but they're looking for people that are venture capitalists, that are and to go to Harvard, David Sinclair's lab, Church's lab, and we went and stayed with what's his name
Kamen. Dean Kamen.
Dean Kamen. These are incredible people, and I spent 4 days, and I asked her to go with me, and she did. And
by the way, these people, they're all on the 250 innovators on the Forbes list.
Peter Diamandis is. He just made that.
Yeah, but David Sinclair is on it. Dean Kamen is on it. Yeah.
So what are you learning? Like, what are you doing to live eternally, aside
Okay.
from just generally taking
Right.
care of your health? As you
No, that you have to realize that aging is programmed. So Peter noticed that you have some of these whales that live for hundreds of years. Now, why do they live for hundreds of years and a fly
200
for
years.
3 days?
Yeah.
Right?
these wells,
Whales.
whales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's going on? It's our genome. We are programmed to age, right? So that's what we're looking at, and that's what we do with all these blue zones and supplements and things.
Try
and
to
exercise and we're trying to and David Sinclair did the resveratrol thing years ago. Are you familiar with that?
It's supposed to help with anti-aging.
Well, resveratrol was found like
It's an
And wine.
antioxidant.
They were wondering why French people, they live a long time.
Mediterranean. Yeah.
The oldest lady was
and
a
they
French
were drinking
woman.
wine.
A lot of red wine.
Right.
That's right. So he did work, and he did work on what's called sirtuins and controlling mechanisms. So she buys me a book. So I read the book, and it's
Called Growing Young
growing young. And then what about Sergio? Young?
by
How about Sergey?
by Sergey Young.
Sergey
Yeah.
Young. So I read the book, and he says there's a place out there in California called
HLI.
HLI, Human Longevity Incorporated. So I go and I say, okay, give me a workup. And so I've been going there for several
It's
years.
a preventative concierge medical center. So what they do is they test everything in your body, and then they tell you exactly where you are and what you need to do in order to improve your health span. And so Harold has been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fountain Life, Peter invested in that one. Have you heard of Craig Venter?
No.
He's the guy that
genetic
dissected
code.
the human genome.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are you doing specifically to beyond just improving your health span?
I've had
health.
my whole genome mapped.
Okay.
So now every time they come up with something new about the genome, I meet with these people and they tell me how I found out I carry a fat gene, right? So I have a tendency to take on the sugars and be fat, and my body holds on to it. It won't give it up, right? So it makes it much more difficult for me to maintain a normal body size than somebody else, right?
And it helps you to better manage your health, to know what's going on in your body, because most of the time, people, the body is really good at hiding diseases. And so unless you do this preventative checking, you'll never know that you may have a heart attack next week, right?
That it's coming, yeah.
Or there's certain things, you're in the process of building diabetes, or that you're going to be diagnosed with diabetes.
Yeah, by the time you get it, it's too late.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is a preventative measure so you can improve and so you don't develop your health in a bad way.
Totally.
You can totally
catch it early,
impact.
Address it.
Yeah.
So when I went through medical school, I found out that people either ate, drank, smoked, drugged, or gambled themselves into most of their problems or issues, and they wanted a pill to fix it. That's typical, right? And it's too late. So That's why another reason I went into OBGYN, primary care, taking care of young women, having babies. These ladies, when they're pregnant, they take the best care of themselves they do in their entire life.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just a very positive atmosphere, and that's why I went into that. And that's really why I've continued to advocate for longevity and good health, right? Not saying I'm perfect, right?
Of course. Yeah.
But
So
dealing with what I have.
what can people listening do to improve on some of these things?
Phew. This conference I went to, we had excellent lectures every day. I've been to so many medical conferences you can't count, right? This was the best one I'd ever been to in my entire life.
Yeah.
There were different lectures on different things that people were doing, and he brings them from all over the world, and the labs and stuff that we went to.
Which conference was this?
This is the
Platinum
Boston
Conference.
Platinum on Longevity
Okay.
in Boston.
In Boston. So,
This is an annual conference?
well, he does one on the East Coast, and annual, then on the West Coast, and East Coast and West Coast, and they've been doing this, right? So I'm part of this membership. Now, this is not cheap. So this is not, these things that I do are not for, one of the things has to do with doing a re-education of your stem cells. I sat and I watched what this guy was doing. He's got a practice in New Jersey.
And by the way, everybody who presented, most of them were all MD, PhD. And they were talking about breaking science, like incredible things that they're doing. And so this Dr. Zhao come on stage and he presented what he has. He's a guy who's been working on stem cells for very, very long time.
Actually, he's an immunologist.
Yes.
Immunology, and again, it goes back to previous conferences and stuff. A guy, Hans, what's Hans' last name?
Hans
Schreider, something like that. But anyway.
Kirsted.
Kirsted. Yeah, Hans Kirsted. Have you heard of Yamanaka factors?
No.
Okay. There was a guy years ago that I think he got the Nobel Prize in like 2015 or 2016 for taking a skin cell, using Yamanaka factors, and turning it back into a primordial germ cell, which means it's pluripotent. But why did he do that? Well, they found out from years ago, if you took two genetically identical mice, right, one old, one young, and you hooked their circulation together, because they couldn't get away from each other. They spent the rest of their life hooked together, basically. And what happened? The old mouse got young, and the young mouse got old.
I think I've heard of that, actually, yeah.
That's right. And the guy that figured out what these factors were, a Japanese guy by the name of Yamanaka.
Wow.
Okay? So now we have 4 factors. So I'm going to these conferences, I'm listening to these people, right? And in particular, David Sinclair was at one about 2 years ago. And he had mentioned that they were taking these Yamanaka factors. They took 3 of them because the 4th one was turned things into cancer. We don't want that. And they were doing non-human primates, monkeys, to see if they would stop or reverse aging. And I never heard the results. So that's why another reason I wanted to go to his lab and check out and see what's going on here. Well, since that time, it's not public, but he's using these factors and reversing blindness in these mice and different animals and stuff. He's got a human clinical trial that's he's putting out too for certain specific
For macular degeneration.
yeah, things like that. So these are cutting edge age reversal stuff, right? So this Hans, he was up there and with Peter Diamandis, and he said there's a thing called a secretome. He's one of the person in the whole world that can take an immune cell, not an immune cell, a pluripotent cell, and he can convert it into any type of cell that you want something made, like a muscle cell or a heart cell or an immune cell, right? So now he has taken the secretions from those cells, and he's using that, and there's a thing called Provoke, which is another person was at this conference, and they've developed it, and you can put it on your skin, and it can get rid of wrinkles. Yeah. By using the
Well,
secret.
that's going to blow up.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So, all these people, and I thought to myself, I said, I need to do a clinical trial. And at the same time, Peter Diamandis came up with a thing called the Health Span X Factor. Have you heard of this?
Mm-mm.
If you Google it, they're offering a prize, just like they did the X Factor for going out in space,
Okay.
the Elon Musk one. Well, this is what Peter does. He gets people together, people to donate to make something happen.
Mm.
So now they've got this Health Span X Prize that's available, and there's like 100 different teams throughout the world. What you have to do, you have to reverse aging, right? The tissues and you have to show immune changes. And like it would test your biological age today, treat you, and see if it actually worked, right? So you have to be able to prove this to get this. So what am I? I'm a member of this. I joined this, right? This health span. Why? Because I'm interested in doing a clinical trial. I'm a licensed physician in upstate New York, the Hall of New York. So I could set up a clinic in Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, the city, and set these things up, and people would have to pay, and I could try some of these things to see if it wouldn't stop or reverse aging for me if I had the funding. So these are things that I'm interested in, and that gets you through the MTP, to stop or reverse aging. Now, how do you live forever, Anthony?
I don't know.
At what age were you when you have your first memory of being you, roughly?
4?
Yeah. Average age is 3 to 5.
Mm.
So you learned how to walk and talk and speak a whole language, and you have no clue as how you did it.
No.
All of us are like that.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point we become conscious, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. And what does that have to do with? We have two sides of our brain. We have a corpus callosum that hooks two sides. When you're sitting contemplating something, who are you talking to?
It's a good question. Myself?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the other side of your brain.
Right.
Mm.
You see, we have two. If you sever that corpus callosum, it's like having two individuals now.
Wow.
Yeah. So we are never alone if we have consciousness awareness. So why couldn't I have your genome, I know how everything works.
Mm-hmm.
I could you're 80 years old, you're on your deathbed. Why couldn't I take your genes, your genome, and make another body? 20-year-old body.
What does take my genome mean? What does that mean?
Well, you have a certain amount of chromosomes. You get 23 from your mom, 23 from your dad.
Okay.
That's what Craig Ventnor did. He determined the genome, right? So your genome is exactly unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have also a set of memories. Where is that?
Stored in part of my brain?
Exactly.
Or in different parts of your body, right?
True.
Yeah.
And how many cells do you
Yes.
think it's stored in? How much storage capacity do you think one of your brain cells have?
God, I wouldn't know.
The program that makes us is so incredibly complicated and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
An egg is the size of a dot on a piece of paper, right? You get the chromosomes from mom and dad, right? They are packaged, so they're not all functioning at the same time. That's how you make a skin cell, an eye cell. All these certain parts are functioning. They say that if you unfold the entire genome, it could extend to the moon and back.
Wow.
So imagine the programming power that we have in storage just in our genome. So when you stop and think about memory and what happens to people like with Alzheimer's or dementia, right, or concussion or brain injuries, it's not working right anymore. But if I was able to download your memories into a computer with an interface, people are working on this stuff now. Mm-hmm. And now I know your genetics, I can make you a body, a 20-year-old body. Then it's purely empty.
How would you make an empty 20-year-old body?
With advanced genetic engineering, right? Because I can make a baby, but then I would have to also do be able
Accelerate
to
it.
accelerate the aging to get to where it
Accelerated
was.
growth.
You can do that?
No
Well,
one can do
it's-
it now.
Right now,
No. But my belief is that
it will
it
happen.
can be done.
Jeez.
Okay? And
It's
then,
creepy kind of.
well, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you clearly have a liking to this type of stuff.
Oh,
To the hard science and
Oh.
the embryology and like this is clearly how your brain operates and how you think and
I look at you and I see a program. And I see where you can go, what you're doing. That's why I ask about you, right? It's like I look at people and I say, this is a beautiful thing happening. Because when you relate to somebody, there's a connection there, huh? That we have no idea how all this stuff works.
no idea.
No idea. But it's
We know so little about the brain. Too.
Yes. The more you know, the less you know.
the more you know, the you realize how much
You don't know. Exactly.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's people that are in the know.
Yes.
But
know,
what was
geniuses.
the most fascinating is that at this conference we had
this is
one scientist after another coming to talk to us about like really, really crazy science that they're working on. And one of them was this doctor who's been working, he's an immunologist and he's working on stem cells. And he's been working on stem cells for a very long time. And he found a way to heal Alzheimer, Parkinson, ALS,
Any immune
any
disease,
immune disease.
lupus.
He can make better.
There was a kid that he showed that had
He was
diabetes, so insulin dependent, couldn't even walk, right? So he did this therapy.
He had
now what
ALS,
happens
yeah.
is you take your blood, you take your white blood cells, you incubate them, then you put them back. Now they've been re-educated with primordial germ cells, basically from umbilical cord stem cells, right? So he has devised a method on how to do this. Put them back, and then they start working in the body to fix things.
Immune
Wow.
cells.
I
Unbelievable.
never thought I would ever, and I told him right at this meeting, I said, I never thought I would ever live to see the day when these immune diseases can be cured.
Wow. It's incredible.
Yeah. It was just
This is recent. This is this
Crazy
year.
to
This
see.
is 2025, the fall of 2025.
right.
Wow.
And he showed us video of this teenager who had ALS in a wheelchair, immobile, like unable to move.
Take care of himself. Yeah,
And-
kid.
30 days later, he's showing us walking the whole hallway.
That's crazy.
At the doctor's
Like
office.
a miracle.
It's absolutely a miracle. I mean, to have the
It's like a
understanding
miracle,
to
but
be able
I'm a
to
scientist.
do
It's
that.
not a miracle. You know what magic is, right? Magic is things that you just don't understand. You're seeing it with your own eyes, but you don't understand how they did it.
Sure.
But there's a way they did it.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the quote? Any sufficient technology appears like magic or something,
Exactly.
Yeah.
years ago or something like that. I totally
Right.
butchered it. But like what we're doing now, broadcasting into into the ether,
Exactly.
somebody's going to be listening to this right
But
now,
you know-
driving in the car, doing something else. We don't know how it works. It just
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. And
But somebody
the
knows how it
most-
works.
The most fascinating and the most incredible is when we were at the conference, they were saying that within the next 10
10
years, we will be able to cure every
Everything.
disease that exists.
Everything.
Everything.
Got it. So that's why you guys are so confident in saying literally eternal life. Just at the rate
Well-
that this is
Well,
changing.
at the conference, they're trying, like David Sinclair, he's working on getting us to 150. Because 120 is already happening. So what is 30 more years, right? And so
My goal is 1,000 years. That's
Peter-
my MTP.
yeah, and Peter Diamandis has been trying to reverse his aging 30 years.
And has
so-
it been working?
Well, he's
He looks
he's
great.
doing all kind of he's doing a lot of different things to get there.
He did this
But-
infusion thing I was telling you just about.
Yeah, he did
And
that.
that's where we saw it. He was going in there and getting it done. He's doing it for anti-aging,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm going to go get it done too next month.
Really?
yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I signed up for it, and then I thought to myself, I have a sister with Alzheimer's. And I said, she needs it more than me. And I asked the physician, I said, will this help her? He goes, it might. He's so
Humble.
humble about what. And I talked to one of the guys that's part of this abundance group because he took himself and his daughters to go do this. And that's like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I talked to him on the phone, and this guy has what's called peripheral neuropathy. He cannot feel his feet. He hasn't felt them for 10 years. He did this treatment, and he felt his feet for the first time in 10 years after he left.
Crazy.
And he walked in with a cane,
Uh-huh.
and he walked out without the cane.
Then it helped. He had balance problems too.
That's insane.
And I talked to him for about an hour because he said, if you want to talk to my daughters about how it's helped them too, feel free,
Yeah.
Because I don't need any more proof. Because my sister, if it could slow her Alzheimer's down for another
It's the
year,
world.
I spent the money to get her treated
Yeah.
before me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right after her.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's going to
Crazy.
be there next month with her
Wow.
while she
And
gets
her
her
husband.
treatment.
Oh,
And
it's really
then
exciting, all this
Harold
stuff.
is going to
I'm so excited.
I can tell.
I'm passionate
Yeah.
about this stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And
love
there's
what
a-
I do anyway.
Yeah.
I don't work. I play every day.
Yeah. So this is why you say you don't plan on retiring. Like if you
No,
can keep
why
your
would
health
I?
and if you enjoy what you're doing, then why stop?
And with these projects that he has,
Yeah.
I mean, if he retires from fertility, he's got a lot of
Health.
other work on,
Yeah. Be running
In the
clinical
pipeline.
trials in New York.
Well, this stuff could actually help women, as far as women that have had premature ovarian insufficiency, or what they used to call ovarian failure, where they quit making eggs. And it's thought to be an immune thing that's happening. I am so interested in if this works anti-immune. How about helping some of these women to be able to cycle and have babies now that couldn't before?
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The
It has
opportunities
applic-
are endless.
It has applications to what I do now.
right.
This is, we're on the threshold of you talk about, and Tom and Nick are there talking about, this stuff as it's progressing. And I've seen it from different places.
The exponential changes, you mean?
Exponential changes.
Yeah.
And they're trying to bring in longevity and health and all these types of things too.
Yes.
But, I've seen it.
And we've seen also, we went to visit David Sinclair's lab at Harvard Medical Building.
Cool.
So they took us there for a day, and we went to visit his lab, met with the scientists that are working on
Postdocs.
groundbreaking discoveries, getting rid of cancer, helping women, continue being able to have children after the age of 40, etc. They have so many, like macular degeneration, alopecia. They have cure for all of that. And,
All in the lab.
it's all, yeah.
All these guys that get patents too, they get all these patents on this, George Church.
George
How
Church
many-
is
how many
amazing.
patents does he have? I don't know.
Yeah, he's got
Tons-
tons
hundreds
of
of them,
patents.
yeah.
And the people we went to see his lab as well at Weiss Institute.
Yeah.
And it was incredible to attend and see what his scientists are working on. And really,
And to meet these people.
to talk and
Sure.
go
Yeah.
and
You're on the cutting edge of.
We were
Yeah.
together
Science.
in line, and I said, "That's George Church," and then this guy came up and said, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I told
Sergey
her,
Young,
I said,
yeah.
"This is Sergey Young," and she gave me the book that Sergey Young, and that's what got me going and all this stuff. I said, "That's the guy that wrote the book right here."
Yeah.
So she can introduce herself,
Yeah, I was so excited because
'Cause-
he's the one who got us started on all this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You can't beat these in-person events where you get to meet people you've been listening to for years.
Exactly. So she says, "Do you know why we're here? Because
Because
I
of you."
gave him your book."
Yeah.
And then you know what he told her?
He goes, wait a minute. He goes and get
Went
books
to-
that he had in his bag, and he said, if you gave my book to your husband, that means you don't have one. So here's a copy of my book.
And he signed it for her.
Nice.
Yeah. Like
This
wonderful
is the type
people.
of people that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
really.
I went to this conference and we left with just bags of gifts.
Yeah. So if somebody's interested in this stuff, which are the conferences you recommend? What should they check out? Is there certain books? I know you mentioned these things are pretty high cost.
Yeah.
So what should they start with? Abundance 360 with Peter Diamandis?
Peter Diamandis, yeah.
Yep.
You know, they can also subscribe. Peter Diamandis has a website, and you can subscribe to get the news, get a newsletter from him.
Metatrends, he calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is an annual conference, Abundance 360?
Abundance 360 had one in the East Coast and one in the West Coast. So next month, it's going to be in the West Coast, and we're going, this time it's going to be in California, near Los Angeles. So we're going...
Twice a year then?
Yeah, it's twice a year.
March.
Meetings, but we have meetings, virtual meetings.
This is a membership then?
Yes, it is.
What I'm at, I'm at a membership level.
Okay, so there's different levels you can explore.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any books that people should read?
Growing Young from Sergey Young. It was a great start for us.
Okay.
But there's also Lifespan from David Sinclair that I also bought him, and so he got to know a little bit more about David Sinclair's everything that he's working on.
Tony Robbins write a book about this too?
Anthony Robbins started Fountain Life with Peter Diamandis that we just went last weekend.
Yes, who else did the stem cell treatment?
Yeah.
Tony Robbins.
Anthony Robbins, yes, he did. Yeah. And he had big problem because he lived in the Fiji Islands, and he was eating a lot of tuna and a lot of fish.
I heard he got
that
mercury
had mercury.
poisoning.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So he got mercury poisoning, and so when he went there, they really took care of him. Yeah, they really helped him. Yeah, quite a bit. So there's
This
a
is
Life Force by Anthony Robbins.
That's the book.
It's a great book.
Not Lifespan, Life Force. I knew he
Life
wrote a
Force.
book about this.
Right. Yeah, really
and
good.
He's just as passionate and excited about this as you.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's
Yeah.
talking to all these people and he's on the cutting edge, and obviously he's got more money than he knows what to do with. He can
Yeah.
explore
He can
all this
invest.
stuff.
You know,
He can invest, he can explore it, he can apply it to himself.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
there's one thing that we did at the conference is we signed a pledge. When we met with Peter Diamandis, he presented the pledge about lifespan and about longevity. And so we signed the pledge, which speaks about applying what we learn and talking to others about it, to make people aware about the possibilities that exist and how it is so important to stay healthy, because within the next few years, if you can live
You
through
can
these
just
few
make
years,
the next few years.
yes,
You could
this may
have-
be the last generation of people who die.
Yeah, you don't have. You're
Because
at a young
if-
enough age. There's no reason why for you to die. There really
Right.
isn't, unless
Because
you do
if-
something stupid.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what Peter talks about. He says don't
Don't
die for
die of something
stupid.
stupid.
Yeah.
Which
If
means
you have an opportunity to get checked from head to toe when you're young to see if you have potential for a heart attack or a stroke,
aneurysm, cancer.
anything.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Because the body hides it really well. So you may not know.
Are there local places that
Yes,
you
there
can
are.
do this?
Yes.
Here in Ontario?
Yes,
check
they
it out.
are. I checked here in Toronto. There are places. They just don't have the sophistication of where we went, because they're really like
Well,
top.
I can tell you, Fountain Life, they'll take your data, Anthony, and you're gonna
And
be
you have
getting
AI
You're gonna
embedded.
be data for many years, right? And as a physician, I can't remember everything test you've done.
No, God, no.
You know
Especially as a family doctor.
exactly.
You got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
10 if you're lucky.
Yes.
So what I
In
do
and
with
out.
this AI, I get my new labs done. I've already put it all into this AI. And I said, based on this information that you have, do you have any other options, treatment options you would recommend? And this AI says, give me a minute to go through it. And then comes back with a plan for you.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He said, but go check it out with your doctor. But have you thought about this and that and that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Fountain Life has an embedded AI within their application, so you can go and ask questions.
Yeah.
You could, anything about your nutrition, planning a meal for the week, planning.
This is my
all your
diet.
meals.
Where are there gaps that I could fill in with supplements?
Well, it
what's
knows.
worth it?
It knows because your
about
blood
you. Yeah.
tests are all in there. Everything is in
Yeah,
there.
you can
Even
run all
my
your tests.
genetics, the mapping of my genes have been. I have everything uploaded into this application, and so now I can talk and I will know. And then it
crazy.
said, will you take into consideration my gluten, intolerance?
Yeah.
And so it will take into consideration everything that is in there. Which is fantastic.
Time it will, and if you talk to Elon Musk and what's going on with robotics, right? And these robots are better surgeons than surgeons, right? And now you put all this knowledge in them too. You don't need me anymore.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need the far majority of us anymore
Exactly.
to do whatever
That's
we do.
What we're looking for, something called paradism, a time, and listen to these guys talk.
Yeah.
When they talk about fiat currency, when we're talking about our guys here, and they're talking about what's happening.
Bitcoin.
We're going to look like look like geniuses for a little bit, but at some point, you won't even need Bitcoin anymore.
Yeah.
We're living in abundance where energy will be available, and what's the purpose of life?
We're going to have to figure it out because it's going to change.
Well, for the young generation, I would say go and learn about business and entrepreneurship because that's the future.
But
everybody
truly,
will have their own business.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're creative, there's so much to offer,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Rockstar says, to do your business and get ahead, right?
Yeah.
The purpose of life is pleasure. Why? You do these things so you can have pleasure wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Live your own life on your terms.
Yeah. It's crazy.
it is,
It's crazy where it's all going.
but it's very
Golden age.
hopeful.
Yes,
It's very hopeful. It's
Yeah.
one, I
I'm
know
very
when we look at the economy and all that, with Tom with his drama, I think that we're going towards a really good place.
Yeah.
The way
A
I see
really
it
good place.
is that humanity is evolving, right?
We're going to create a paradise.
At this point, because I'm an OBGYN, there's a lot of labor pains that we're going through right now.
Yeah.
Are we going to be born a new humanity out of all this transgression, or are we going to die in the process or self-destruct? My glass is always half full.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very positive. I think that organizations like this and people that I know, geniuses in this world that are trying to make things happen good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's possible. I really, really do.
Yeah. It is positive that there's a lot of good people trying to drive a lot of these changes, right?
I love
Yeah.
being around smart people,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I
It's
love
just hard to wrap
intellect.
you just can't wrap your head around the exponential nature of it all.
No,
Just how
because
quickly it moves.
Right.
linear. We're
Like when you
linear.
think
We're not
10
used to
years
it.
from now, the abundance, it's hard to imagine.
You laughed when I said, I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
I am serious.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I know you are.
And even when we speak over
Well,
there,
you've
to
seen
these people.
and really you understand a lot more of this stuff than I do, and you've explored it way more. So it's like I can't even. How can I cast any judgment whatsoever? I have no idea. This
Right.
stuff is so cutting edge. This
It
stuff
is.
is so beyond my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
That I can't even imagine it. But you guys are literally at the cutting edge. Like David Sinclair, like he's the world's foremost expert on anti-aging,
Sure.
is he
yeah,
not?
Sure.
yeah.
Right? These other
Yeah.
guys, Peter Diamandis, I understand kind of the network that you guys are plugged into. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
blessed. We are so blessed.
Yeah.
George Church,
Oh.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible individual, starting all these business, he has so many patents.
He's a geneticist. He's the guy that was going to clone the woolly mammoth.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I can see you guys don't want to sell. You said you're never going to sell real estate.
No.
You might not need to.
No, we'll just continue buying.
Yeah.
But you have to realize too, the more you own, the more that owns you.
Yes.
So
Right.
if I'm always looking for automation, how things can work without me.
Yeah. How can you delegate
Right.
it?
Yeah.
Delegate it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great line. I love that line. Because it's true. Everything you own owns a piece of you. You got to
Right.
care for it. You got to maintain it. You got to watch it. You got to protect it. You got to.
So the
Yeah.
things I invest in are like a garage, a business that her brother and her nephew
Yeah.
wanted. So I'm the investor, right? But I'm not gonna just invest with anybody because I've been taken too many times, right? I will invest with people I trust, family members and whatnot.
Yeah.
My kids and other healthcare professionals, people that I trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, it's not worth all the crap, man.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I feel terrible about that story.
And having
Live and
good
learn.
partners, having partners that are willing to put in the work.
Yeah,
Right?
having good partners. We're partners.
We are.
We are.
Yeah.
We both grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important to have good people around you. I can't imagine, going through just, my own real estate journey with a bad partner. Like I've been so grateful that, I've had
Yeah.
great partners so far.
Right.
Amazing. Couldn't ask for better people.
Right.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. If anybody, so you mentioned those things. Is there anything else you want to shout out?
On the top of my head, nothing pops up right now.
Yeah.
But if you want, I can send you a list of books that we have at home that we've read and that maybe.
Okay. Well,
Of
if
interest.
anyone's interested, reach out to us at members@rockstarbrokerage.com, and then we're happy to connect you guys if anybody wants more resources. Because
Yeah.
I love to talk.
because you guys are up to some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
aside.
And share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys are all at all the Rockstar VIP events. We were on the Rockstar cruise together. We didn't get a chance to really sit down and talk. So this has been great.
I made some great connections out there too, though.
On the cruise?
I did.
It's a good group of
Yeah.
people.
It is.
Yeah.
It was a fun group of people. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That was a
It
blast.
was wonderful.
Yeah. That was one of the most fun little trips I've ever done.
And it
that
was-
cruise ship was unbelievable.
Yeah, and it was a tax break.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we had a Your Life,
So
Your
we
Terms
like
event
that.
on the ocean.
We sure did.
Yeah,
We had the first ever
like
international
that.
Your Life, Your Terms event.
That's
right.
I think we were in international waters.
Yeah,
Yeah. All deductible.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
We learned.
So Harold loved that.
Totally.
I have to protect my taxes, right?
Yeah. They take enough.
They'll take
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
of it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
So next month we'll have more information.
That's right.
We're going to the California conference.
Cool.
This one is 4 days, and 1 day on AI, 1 day on space exploration, 1 day on longevity, and there's I forgot the other one, but amazing.
They even have evenings, philosophical discussions.
Yeah.
These people are so, every geniuses and stuff get together and decide, what is the purpose of life?
Yeah.
Things like
Well,
that.
Yeah.
you know the lobster, the claw, right? That Tom was talking about at the last meeting. There's been a lot of discussion around the fact that the AI was threatening the guy with his life, right? So there's going to be philosophical discussion about individuals who are asking AI about their consciousness, because we don't even know how do we define consciousness for us human. How do we define consciousness for the robots or for the AI, right? So there's a lot of interesting dialogue and discussions that are going to take place with these scientists that are right at the cutting edge of that stuff, the robots and
The future is here, guys.
it is.
The future is here. It's just not evenly distributed.
That's
Yeah.
But you guys are getting
Yeah.
a piece of it from the
Well,
it sounds like.
I think that the goal is really for everybody to have access. Just like,
Yeah, sure.
long time ago, a cell phone was. I remember when I was
Very
a
exclusive.
real estate agent, and I had this brick,
Yeah.
right, carrying everywhere. And now everybody's got one.
Yes.
Whether it
The
is in
abundance
Africa,
eventually
anywhere in the
flows.
world.
Yeah.
everybody has a cell phone. So
Starlink
it's
is
accessible.
giving everyone internet access over the world that didn't have it before. Like it takes time for it to distribute.
And who
Right.
made Starlink? Elon.
Mr. Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to come, and it's going to become accessible for everybody. It's just going to take time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Faster than you might think.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
You're young enough. Believe
Yeah. Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Hope it turns out good.
Don't die from anything stupid.
I'll try not to. I'll try my
And the
best.
next thing we're doing is, of course, I'm getting that treatment, and my sister's getting that treatment next month.
Beautiful.
After
Yeah.
we come back. And if that helps her,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be
we'll
incredible.
have-
Yeah.
We'll tell you next time.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Hope
Yeah.
it goes well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
thank
you for
you.
you two inviting us.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you.